So this thing about like getting a job in Canada is becoming like so challenging, or it has been so challenging to a lot of people. So I was talking to some persons yesterday, and it's just so tiring for me as a person, like having to repeat this over and over again. Look, if you're new to Canada, there are certain things you have to do to be ahead. There are a lot of people here on ground. They are trying to apply to the same job that you're applying to, right? So there are certain things you need to do to be ahead. If you're a newcomer, the very first thing you should do once you get into Canada is to change your resume style. It is very, very essential. Change your resume style. When I came into Canada in 2023, my resume had my picture, it had my marital status, it had my religion, it had my age. All those things does not matter. And for me at that point, I believed I had the most fancy resume, the most beautiful resume. But trust me, that resume could not get me a single interview. I'm not talking about job, just an interview. When I got to understand that Canadian love simple, straight to point resume, you don't need to generate your resume. Okay, then I changed my resume. I made it very simple. I made it functional. There is something called functional resume. Functional resume is the kind of resume that supports you as a newcomer to Canada. Those are the kind of resume that showcases your skills instead of your experiences. Because as a newcomer, you have no Canadian experience. But that does not mean you can't get a good job. You just need to showcase or put your resume in a way that it will be able to attract an employer. And remember, keeping your resume simple, straight to point, and powerful. Like, your resume is not supposed to exceed 2 pages. That's the maximum, because employers do not have a lot of time to go through all the resume. That is the very first thing you should do. Then when your resume is ready, next thing you should do is go out, meet people, attend different events, social gathering, volunteer, build strong network. People can recommend you for jobs. Then go hand to hand and hand in your resume. Make sure before you're pitching to someone about who you are, the skills you have, make sure your resume is ready, so that once the person says, okay, can I have your resume? So always have the hard copy and the soft copy of your resume as a newcomer to Canada. I believe if you have done this for the 6 months you've stayed in Canada, there is no way